to my crazy workout sessions. Now today we're going to be talking about the little controversy thing that's going on. Does it matter if your plates are face in or out? Because if they're face in or out, some people don't count it. So we're going to figure this out today. Does it matter? Now I know competitions, yeah, more likely it does matter. I've never been in a competition, but I just watched a lot of like competitions on YouTube and seen them on TV and stuff like that. But I tell you one thing is, I guess that's matter when it comes down to competition. I just don't know why it matters. I guess because it's a number thing with the place, or I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody could leave a comment below or wherever and let me know like why does it matter in a competition if your place or face in or out. Some people chose to have the place facing in. Some people chose to have them facing out. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna be honest with you, it really doesn't matter for real, for real. Only thing that matter is when it comes down to the plates is how much you're lifting and how far your plates are apart. Now, you could try this and I could prove this. Now, for example, I got these on the ground right here. Now, on one side, all right, if you notice, for example, I'm gonna show you about sandwich plates. Actually, when I lift, I call them sandwich plates. Now, in competitions, they will tell you if your plates have to be faced in or out. So these are considered being, I guess, out. And over here would be considered, in. Now, if you look out how I got my stack, you'll be like, man, why do you have your plates stacked like that? Even the back. You'll be like, why do you got them stacked like that? That's insane. Well, to you may think that's insane, or you might think it's crazy, or you might don't think I'm lifting right. But look, like I said, if you go back to my other videos, you can tell I've been working out for a very long time. So I experienced a lot of different ways of working out and stuff like that. And like I told people, I stopped making videos because I had to find out from my rights from wrongs. And now that I found them, now I could correct them and tell other people what I have been doing. So, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, what is your workout routine? What's your workout routine? This and this and that. But I'm going to show you what my workout routine, I'm going to show you how I work out and what I work out with. Now, back to what I was saying now. It's all about how far your place is apart. It's not about if your place is face in or they're face out. That doesn't mean nothing. Okay? The extension on your bar means something. Where your arms is placed on the board, on a bar means something. And any weight lifter, well, I could say power lifter, I don't know too much about people that's bodybuilding. You know what I mean? I don't too much, can't speak on those people, but I could speak on powerlifters, and powerlifters probably could actually agree to this. If you are a powerlifter, please leave a comment below if you understand this or agree what I'm saying is. But when placed or farther apart, it's actually heavier than it's closer to your hand. And that's just like, for example, when people deadlift on the elephant board is a lot longer. An extension node is a lot different from a shorter type of 45 or 60-pound bar. And a lot of people don't understand that. And actually, I'm going to prove that right about now is what's the difference between the places closer to your hand and farther away from your hand. Now, I proved this a lot, excuse me, let me correct myself. I proved a lot of people wrong even when it came down to benching. Because a lot of people center bench, and I tell people, well, you could center bench because, you do push-ups usually like center bench, and you use your hands to be close together, which is, it'll be like strictly close, like how these were close together like this. You know what I mean? Probably maybe like this far apart or something like that. That's more like your hands would be. Now, my whole thing is I don't too much do center benching or stuff like that. I do wide grip stuff. So everything I do is like mostly wide. You know what I mean? Now, back to what I was saying. Now, if I pick this weight up, right? If I grab it from here, right? It's so light from here. Because my hand is so close to weight, it's light. But if I grab from down here, I feel so much strain on my wrist. And this is the thing that Bruce Lee used to do all the time. And I feel so much strain on my wrist from down there at the bottom than being up here. See, up here, you can do it real fast up here. But when you're down here, you can't do it that fast if you want to. The reason why? Because the plate is farther away from you. So if you want to get strong, trying to lift things that's farther away from you than lifting it close to you. So a lot of people claim that they're strong, but they got things close to them. But if it's farther away from them, they won't be able to pick it up. And I'll prove that even with some of my workouts. I'll show you that some people won't be able to pick things up in certain ways. Now, back to these sandwich plates and why I got them sandwiched like this. I know this looks odd, maybe weird, or whatever, you know what I mean? You may feel, but that's your opinion. I respect it, you know? But at the same time, I'm going to explain to you the reason why I had it. See, a lot of people these days, when they do bench, they'll add on like chains or whatever they put on. Now, to me, I feel like if I sandwich my plates, that I'm putting more weight closer to the edge. So now, if I flip these around and I put them all correctly, this is actually a lighter to me than being like this. And a lot of people are like, that don't make no sense. It does make sense. And you could try it yourself. If you're benching two 45-pound plates, right? Put them on the board and put it to the edge, to the very end, and make sure you put a clamp on so they won't fall. So see if you could squeeze a clamp on here, and see if you could get another clamp on here to get that plate to stay like at least right here. Okay? So you'll have all this open right here. This will be open. This will be all free. But you at least have your plate. You want at least you'll have your plate at least right here. Now, I'm just saying, just have two 45-pound plates on a 45-pound board and bench that from the plate being on the edge, not being close. And you tell me the difference, you're going to say the same thing. It feels a lot heavier. Now, even with benching, and I tell people this, if you benching from the center, now, for example, I don't have that thing right here. All right, let's say, for example, if you was benching. Now, on benching, if you're out right here or right here, I guess that may be considered close to almost wide benching, like if you was wide gripping, but it's wide benching. So I guess considered close to being wide benching. So if you bench, which would be like right in here and right in here, that's more likely center. And I tell people this, a lot of people could bench center because it's closer to you than anything. And if people say, well, center bench is not closer to you. Well, actually, it actually is, because you're using your triceps, first of all. And a lot of people that's benching, they're using their triceps when they're pushing up this weight, and they're using their back muscle actually with their legs. Some people's pushing from the ground, and people are like, oh, man, like I told you, put your feet on the bench, right? And bench like that. And I guarantee you, it's a lot harder than when you got your feet on the ground. So there's a lot of points that a lot of people just don't talk about when it comes down to lifting, because they just don't try to do that, or they say, oh, that's the incorrect way of lifting. Well, look, I'll tell you, there's a lot of ways that you could gain strength, and there's a lot of ways you could get injuries, and there's a lot of ways you could tell people how to do this and do that. Look, it's all about what suits you. I'm just telling you from my experience. Now, when it comes down to benching close, when my arms is closer, I could bench more. When it comes down to wide gripping, it's a whole different ball game, because more of the weight is more onto your shoulders than more onto your triceps. Yeah, more than on your triceps. See, a lot of people don't understand that, and I tell people, if you think you're strong, wide grip on a bench, like the little marks on the bar. I don't have a long board. They're always down in the basement. If I had a bar up here, I'll show you. But on the board, there's like marks on the bar. Go past the marks on that bar. Put your hand a little bit further past the mark, and wide grip on that bench. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a whole different ball game when it comes time. And that's what I tell people. Like, a lot of people that could wide grip is usually stronger than people who could center grip, because actually they're using less muscles to lift up that weight. And the weight that they're using, well, the muscle they're using to stabilize that type of weight is totally different muscles. It's not the muscle you usually use when you're doing like regular push-ups. And the portion usually people do is it's like the portion away. It's like it's the muscle that you use if you portion somebody away. So it's like the center push up in here. Like if you portion somebody away, constantly push away like this. So that's why a lot of people were like, oh, I'm strong, I'm strong. And then you take them on the bench and you be like, well, here, wide grip this to the point that your arms is faced like this, then like this. And I tell people, if your arms is faced like this straight out, and try to wide grip on the bench, it's going to be a lot harder than palm hitting like this because you're using your triceps. Of course, it's going to be easy to bench weight like that, of course. But try that wide gripping. And then I guarantee you ain't going to be sitting there lifting what you think you want to be lifting. Now, the same thing I was telling you about these. Why I sandwich these plates like this because it feels heavier because there's more weight that's coming towards this end. This is like in the plate. If you look at the plate, how the plate is actually being made, if you notice, the more of the weight is more likely sitting in right here, the center, than more in the front because it's just got this lip. Well, the same thing with this, you know, it's just the sandwich thing. It's just this is closer to this end, so it's going to make it a lot heavier than them being all bunched together. So when it comes down to lifting, I do sandwich my plates like this. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's odd and weird. It's only odd and weird if you never tried it. You know what I mean? So try it and tell me what you think about it. Leave a comment below. You know what I mean? Let me know. How does it work out for you? I'm just telling you, there's a difference though. Just like with benching, you know, just try that. Try to sandwich your plates. You know what I mean? Try to put like 2 10s here and a 45 here, whatever you lifting, you know what I mean? Just trying to make sure the bigger plate and the heavy plate is always the first one, and then after that, just put little plates between her, and then put another big plate between her, and another one on the end. So it look like a big sandwich or something like you, like I said, just like you trying to make a sandwich or something. So mostly all my places like that. It's like these ones are back here too. Like look at these ones. I know it don't look like a sandwich, but the whole thing is if you notice, this is how I got my plates. I don't put my plates together like some people do. Like they'll put all 45s on, and they'll put all 35s on. I don't too much lift like that no more. I used to lift like that until I started experimenting with this, and I figured like, hold on, this weight seemed like it's a lot heavier. Yeah, it is. Believe it, because it's getting closer to this edge, and the more they get closer to the edge, the more heavier it's gonna get. And like I said, I just proved that with this right here. And the reason why I don't have my dumbbells over here sandwiched like that, to be honest with you, is because in the ending, I don't want these things to actually roll off. I'm kind of nervous about these things. These are caps, I think. I think these are caps. I don't think these are weeders. But I think these are made by cats because I know cats makes the best stuff. No, these are. Do you think these are weeders? See something. Yeah, they are weeders, matter of fact. So they are weeders. Cats are better though. I think, excuse me, these ain't cats. Them is cheap ones, I think, too. But yeah, these ain't caps. But these BMIs, these these weights are old, man. Old from I think from the 90s, like the early 90s, like 94, 95 or something like that. But they're old. I had them for a long time. My brother used to work out with those. But yeah, I just don't have my dumbbell sandwich like that. Eventually, I might sandwich them like that or whatever. But I just don't have them like that now. But I would eventually would do that. But I'm just letting you know that, you know, sandwich your plates. Try that. Just try sandwiching them, and try to, when you benching or whatever you're doing, trying to, like I said, put something on her like a brace or something. Like for example, look, this maybe be too big, but it should lock at least right here. Okay. Now, take a plate, put a plate right here. Okay. Do the same thing with the other side on a bench, and then tell me what's the difference, and leave a comment below. You know, make a video. You know, prove me wrong. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing this for a long time, and I tell you this now, there is a difference, man. So yeah, sandwich your plates. Try that. You don't have to use chains or nothing like that to put on your bench or nothing like that. But yeah, sandwich your plates. I'm guarantee you, you'll see the difference. Now, all about this inner and outer plate thing doesn't make a difference. Maybe in competitions, maybe in competitions it matters. But when it comes down to lifting, hey, if you did it, you did it. If you don't do it, you don't do it. So it doesn't matter if your place is face in or out. It's even if you do it or you don't do it. So I don't understand about this whole roll thing about if your place is facing in or out. I think it's kind of like weird and goofy to me. But like I said, it's enlighten me. Tell me why that's the rule of that. You know what I mean? Because I don't get it. The only thing I can see is it's a number thing. You know what I mean? Now, they won't let you live like this in a competition. I know that. But I'm just letting you know is I don't see no difference from an in and outer plate. But there is a difference when your plates are farther away from you. And I'm telling you that now. And like I said and then people say with the wide bench, it's like, well, if your arms are closer to you, that means your plates are wider from you. You're correct. You're correct. And if you're wide gripping, you say, well, the plates are closer to you if you're wide gripping on the bench. You're correct. But there's different muscles now. There's a different muscle group that you're using. If you're wide gripping, you're mostly using your shoulder. Like I said, you'll be mostly out. Your arm will look like this out here than anything. So it won't be flat if you're doing your palm down like in here. You understand what I'm saying? Your grip will mostly be up in here. So this is a difference with the benching thing. You won't be palming it. So there is a difference, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you. And so that actually even improve it even more. And then people, like I said, is you'll go back and say, well, your hands are closer to the place because you're wide gripping. I don't agree with you. Yes, they are, but at the same time, is you're not using the muscle that actually usually help you a lot in life, and it's actually your tricep muscle that you use to push off the ground constantly, and you know what I mean, this period. Now, when you benching and you using your shoulders muscles and your wide gripping, you really ain't using your triceps muscle to help you to push it off and using your back. So you're using almost your upper part of your body. That's all upper part of the body. Your shoulders, your neck, all that. Your forearms, that's all that muscle. So there's a different type of muscle group that you're using. And I'm just being honest with you, when the weights, I'm telling you, when the weights is actually farther away from you, a lot heavier, then you're closer to you because you're closer to that type of weight. And even like I said, it proved that when we were benching. You know what I mean? And then like, don't get me wrong now. Now, if you was a person that if you could reach your arm from one side of the bench to the other side of the bench, like if this was a bar, and if you could put your hand right here, and if you could put your hand right here, oh yeah, it's going to be light because your hands is closer to that weight. Only reason why the weight is heavy on a bar is because it's extension of a bar. It's not too much of the weight itself, it's the extension of a bar. And then people will say, well, 400 pounds is 400 pounds. Yeah, 400 pounds is 400 pounds, but it's all about where is it sitting at. So that's just like, for example, if you have a pencil, and if this pencil was made out of iron, and if you could put 50 pounds on an iron pencil but on the top of your hand, for example, this is a prime example. If this was a pencil, and if I put, like, for example, this weight is close to my hand, this is so easy to control because it's so close to my hand. But soon when I get down here, this is not easy to control anymore like I used to. You know what I mean? It's like it moves around a lot more. So it's not that easy. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. And the same thing with benching. And even with this. Like if you're benching and your bench is like this and it's more, if it's closer to the weight like this, it's going to be actually light because you're close to the weight. And nobody hands that I know has got that grip that could reach that close to the bench like that. You know what I mean? So there's a difference. And like I tell people, even with bench, I'll show you on the ground, matter of fact, with my hand. Now, if your hand is like this on a bench, which will be in this form. Do you understand what I'm saying? Which is, I guess this is, well, not guessing, well, this is center, will be center benching, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of people who do that, that's like a palm hit, bench. Now, if you face your arm down like this is a different type of benching. And I tell people to try that. You know, that's different, man. You're not gonna bench as much as you bench center bench and wide grip bench. You're not gonna do it. If you do that, matter of fact, do a video of it, share the video with me, and prove me wrong that you could actually center bench and wide grip bench the same amount of weight. Send me a video of it. And I challenge anybody to do that, actually. So if you could put 400 pounds and hit it close, I want you to put 400 pounds and wide grip it and do it like that. And the farther your arm is apart, try that. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole different ball game. And even try it too. Try it with sandwich plates. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that about this inner and outer plate thing. Doesn't matter. What matters is all about where your place is sitting at and how far away they are from you and how close they are to you. So when people say, oh, it didn't count because your plate wasn't face in or it wasn't face out, look, you lift it. Doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter. It's just a number thing, man. So that's how I look at it. It's just a number thing. Until then, somebody post a comment, prove me wrong. But yeah, thanks for watching. You know, please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. You know, I ain't no hater. You know, I ain't gonna force you to saying some crazy stuff. Like, you better hit my subscribe button. He's like, no, I'm just playing with you. But anyways, if you hit it, you hit it. You don't, you don't. But at the end of the day, I ain't no hater. You know, I ain't like that. But thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. I just want to touch faces on that, definitely, because, man, I got tired of hearing people talking about that all the time. So, but I'm going to make another video, and actually it's going to be on something a little bit different, but it's not going to be about sitting here and telling you about how to lift and how the lift plays or what plays is this and this and that. I just wanted to touch faces on that and what I do when I lift. So now you know. But yeah, check out my other videos. You know, tell me what you think about them. Post a comment. You know, if you think I'm doing something that's wrong, let me know. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been doing this for years, and I don't see nothing wrong with what I've been doing. Yes, I gained a lot of injuries from the stuff I've been doing, but at the same time is I corrected my form too. So, but thank you for viewing, and thank you for watching. Adios.